Hello and welcome to the Global Perspectives Grade 12 Research Paper, Results section. The lesson objectives for today's lesson will be to identify the purpose of the results section, explain what should and should not be included, explain the format of the results section, and we will practice summarizing results. As a quick review from grade 11, the results section will be the fifth section in your research paper, and it will follow the introduction, context, aims, and methodology. The results section will be a very important part of your research paper and can easily be summarized with one phrase: look what I found. The results section will provide an opportunity to present evidence to support your thesis statement. The main purpose of the results section is to simply report the findings of your research. What should a good results section look like? A good results section should be a simple, straightforward summary of your main findings. It should provide relevant information that help answer your research questions. It should not include extra information or irrelevant information, as this may shift the focus from your topic and ultimately weaken the strength of your research paper. Visual aids are a great idea to include in your results section. This will help with the readability of your paper, as it is far easier from a reader's perspective to look at a chart or a graph and understand the results compared to reading one or two paragraphs. Remember, a picture says 1,000 words. It is important to include positive and negative results in your results section. This will help eliminate bias. Including the positive results will help prove or support your thesis statements, and although negative results may disprove or contribute to the counter-argument, it is good research practice to include both positive and negative results. Identifying trends and patterns in your research can really strengthen your results, as it provides a more in-depth picture into your research paper. Your results section should be organized in a clear and concise manner with a logical flow, and it should be written in the past tense. What should a good results section not look like? Again, it should not include too much information or irrelevant information. This really shifts the focus away from the main point of your paper, and it may ultimately weaken your paper. The results section should not include interpretation or analysis, and it should not be vague. Your results section should be clear, concise, and to the point. If you're using visual aids, you always need to include labels and accurate labels at that. This will help reduce confusion for the reader if everything is labeled accurately. Moving on to the structure of the results section, the research findings should be presented using one of two structures based on either methods or research questions. In the first example, we could see that results are presented according to methods. The first method used was an interview, and then we proceed to report the interview findings. The second method was a questionnaire, and again, we'll report the findings of that questionnaire. The third method used was secondary research based on journal articles online, and then we will proceed to report the secondary research findings. The second option you have for presenting your results is based on research questions. So in this example, you'll restate your first research question and then report the findings that help answer that research question. You will repeat this process for your second, third, and maybe fourth research question. If you only use one method for your research, you'll probably want to structure your results section based on research question. If you use more than one research method, then you could choose either structure based on methods or research question. Whatever structure you decide to use, be consistent. Now it's time for some helpful tips. Remember to use text to direct readers to visual aids, and all visual aids should be accurately labeled. Don't waste time and energy repeating information that can easily be represented in graphs, charts, or tables. Be concise and relevant, and remember to identify trends and patterns in your research. Now let's have some practice summarizing and identifying trends and patterns in data sets. In this example, this student was researching migration and urbanization, and one of their research questions was, what are the main reasons for moving to a city? The student conducted a survey, and the results are provided here. Take some time to think about how you could summarize these results. One way you could summarize these results is to look for similarities in the responses. In this case, we see that some of the answers, or some of the reasons given for moving to a city, relate to social reasons. Others are environmental reasons, and others still are more economic reasons. So this is an excellent way to summarize the responses of this survey. We could say that some of the reasons are social, some of the reasons are environmental, and some of the reasons are economic. Now that we've grouped the responses together in 3 broad categories, we can look at the frequency of responses to identify trends in the data set. In this case, 15 of the 27 responses were social reasons, 4 were environmental reasons, and 8 were economic reasons. Based on these numbers, we can conclude that the majority of respondents identified the main reasons for moving to a city as being social. We reached this conclusion based on the fact that 15 out of 27 responses were social reasons. Let us now review the lesson objectives for today. We identified the purpose of the results section, explained what should and should not be included in the results, explained the format of the results, and we had some practice summarizing results. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I'll see you soon.